Hey, I just actually wanted to talk a little bit about this book, my favorite book, Jemima J. I read it a couple times every year, but this time reading it, I came across, and I think I have this revelation every time I read it, but it really stuck in this time, about how kind of old I feel when I read it. I remember I worked at Barnes & Noble when this book came out. I was living on my own. Well, I had a roommate, but I was, living away from home. I was over the legal drinking age. I was a grown-up when this book came out, which was, 99? But compared to what my life is like now, I just have to read kind of a passage for you. And so I sigh, thank him for his time, and maneuver myself out of the narrow chair. Just before I get back to the door, the editor says, "By the way, are you taking that class, aren't you?" I turned to look at him in confusion. Class? What class? You know, he adds, seeing that I don't know what he's talking about. Computers, internet, World Wide Web. We're going on the line, and I want everyone in the office to attend. On the line? Doesn't he mean online? I think as I walk out with a smile on my face, the editor, just desperate to show off his street credibility, has once again proved he's still living in the 80s. It's about time we got web access in the office. I'm recording this video on a telephone, and they're just getting internet in the office, and it's just kind of weird and crazy to me. Also, another weird thing that makes me feel old, this is apparently the I Feel Old video today, from the beginning of the internet, which is kind of the whole plot. The plot driver of this whole book is getting the internet in the office, and what follows through. Obviously, there's no Facebook, there's no Twitter. They're not YouTubing, but they're meeting people in chat rooms. It's just crazy to me that how things have changed. But also telephones. I heard something on the Nerdist podcast today. They were talking about the movie Poltergeist, and it's one of those instant triggers that when I hear something about Poltergeist, I go into my Poltergeist story, because you've got to have a Poltergeist story. When I was a little kid, the neighbor girl across the street and I had a babysitter. She was over, Laura Haas and I were watching television, and we were watching Poltergeist, and we were not supposed to be. Of course, the movie scared the absolute bejesus out of both of us, but the whole important part of the story is we went in the kitchen to tell my babysitter that we were scared. And I remember she's making SpaghettiOs. High classy babysitter. But we were in the kitchen, and the telephone cord moved and flipped. Like, it moved on its own. I kid you not, the thing moved on its own. And we ran out of the house screaming in terror. And now, if I retell this tale to my grandchildren someday, I'm going to have to say, well, kids, when I was your age, telephones had cords. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird and crazy, and I don't know, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles and the evolution of technology. But wow, totally made me feel my age was a lot more than my age. But anyway, highly recommend you read this book. Have to read this book, Jemima J by Jane Green. And watch Poltergeist, which is actually on my DVR, so I'm going to probably do that tomorrow when it's daylight and not dark and scary. But have a great night. Bye.